So good evening to everyone who's joined online to support our continued webinar series that we are running at BPAC. Today's session, we are doing it in partnership with Forum of Digital Politics. We wanted to bring to you a very critical and important topic, and that is the need of the hour, especially for a lot of aspiring political leaders that are part of the BPAC ecosystem, and also for all the others who are joining and who are interested in this topic. So we have Mr. Anandan today, who is the National Secretary at Forum of Digital Politics with us to lead this session. So this session will be broken down into two parts. So the first half, Mr. Anandan will take us through one particular topic. We will pause and we'll take some questions. You can please write to me on your chat and questions. I will raise it up with him. And then he will answer them, and we will move to the second half of the session. We will conclude this by 7:30. So we look forward to all your active participation in this session, and please ask all your valuable questions with our expert today. For all those who have joined who are not very familiar with BPAC, I wanted to very briefly take you through what BPAC is. BPAC is Bangalore Political Action Committee. We are a Bangalore-based citizen collective. We are non-partisan, apolitical, a trust. We've been active in the last 10 years in the Bangalore urban space. Our flagship program is the Civic Leadership Program. So the CLIP is the BPAC Civic Leadership Incubator Program. It's a platform where aspiring politicians, community leaders come get trained on various aspects of governance, politics, and election engineering. And they, have already taken part in active politics or move on to being in active politics, or, have been champions of various causes in Bangalore. So you can know more about BPAC through our website at bpac.in, and we are available on all the social media platforms. So you can follow us if you want to know more about us and what do we do on a regular basis. You'll get all the updates from there. On that note, I wanted to, briefly introduce you to Mr. Anandan, who is a digital politics expert, political and election strategy innovator. He's a first generation entrepreneur and has a vast experience in the space of electioneering strategic management. He has a couple of product offerings. They have a team that is a Thedal Election Analytics Manager. It is a must-have app for aspiring politicians who plan to contest elections in any of the three levels, either at the local, state, or the national level. They also have a governance tool called Voice, a responsive governance tool for any elected representative that they can use for their constituency grievance management and redressal. So I will, ask Mr. Anandan to please take us through the session. Welcome, sir. We look forward to hearing you. And I will briefly, once you are done with the last slide, I will pause for the questions of the first session.
Okay. Thanks, Ashita, for the short note. And thanks for the invitation to present about the strategic use of data analytics. So thank you, everybody. And let's start and let's delve into the session. So, so we'll cover the overall session into two phases. One is into how data plays a very important role in election campaigning, and also post elections, how it plays a role in terms of good governance. So these are the two sessions we will handle it today. So first of all, I just thank both the organization, BPAC. It's taken a wonderful initiative in terms of spreading the digital politics into the field, and as well as Forum of Digital Politics, where the idea is to promote the technology and tools into the market. So before we proceed into it, just I want to give a quick intro about me. So basically, I am currently heading the National Secretary institution of Forum of Digital Politics. Basically, it's a non-profitable organization, a Section 8 company built for political tech landscape. And I also currently I head the Chief Executive Officer of Thedal App India Limited, a public limited company which promotes technology, especially in elections. And I'm also a co-founder in Semi-Search Technology Private Limited, which is basically an e-commerce company for into a semiconductor trading. And if at all, if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out through LinkedIn at a profile name of Thedal Anandan. So this is a short intro about mine. As Ashita was told, what is BPAC is basically it's a non-partisan citizen group which improves the governance in Bangalore, and they engaged in citizen engagement, policy advocacy, electoral support, and public awareness collaboration as NGO. And basically, they are most concentrated on the governance improvement at Bangalore level. So, in order to that, we go with what is Forum of Digital Politics. So I just want to give a small intro about this forum, which has been created in the month of October 2023, and it's just 6-8 months old. Forum of Digital Politics is basically Section 8 non-profit organization registered in Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So you see that it is long-term vision in order to promote the political means technology and tools in the political landscape. The core focus of forum is to promote and integrate the digital and technology innovation in entire political process from election to the governance. And who is Forum of Digital Politics is basically for a platform which provides the technology knowledges for the political consultants, mentors, advisors, policymakers, and the startups and the investors, students, and the aspiring politicians mainly, and also the serving politicians and women leaders. This is a community or the ecosystem is what we build, and we are building it, and on the shared interest, we just want to promote and be passionate about the peers and the digital politics world. So this is what the Forum of Digital Politics does. And before entering into the session, so many people say there's no more politics. So it's better to know more politics. So the current session which we are going to do is about the know more about digital politics and the data politics. So if you know about more about the data and digital politics, even upon a soldier can become a king into the current political environment. So that is where we just want to urge and saying that instead of saying no more politics, it's better to say no more politics and digital politics or the data politics. Okay. So before we actually enter into the session, most of the people would be from the civic body, the local representative or the local aspirants. So the key important role of the local body plays a very critical role in the overall political the hierarchy, where whatever the election may be or whatever the governance may be, either it is MP election, the Lok Sabha election, or the Vidhan Sabha MLA election, or the local body. The people who really work on the ground is the local representative, the local body people. Either it can be a councillors, or it can be a village panchayat, Jilla Parishad guy, or it can be an aspirant. So the important key role plays of very important role placed by this local politicians or the local civic body people. So that is where we thought how these people can be equipped with the tools and technology so that the overall management of the governance can happen, and as well as the election process can be smoothened so that more capable and honest people can come into the political domain. Okay. So our focus in this session will be two, as I said. One will be data analytics in elections. So what are the election campaigns you do? Either it can be an MLA election or MP election or the local body election. How data plays a very important role in the campaigning part. And the second one would be data analytics in the governance. So how once you've been elected as a local body councillor, or the MLA or the MP or even the government has been formed by you, then how important the data would be help you to sustain the good name, or how best it can be benefit to the people, mean the citizen, and to the government. So these are the two focus areas we'll cover in this section. As one part, first part would be data analytics in elections, and second part would be data analytics in governance. So for both data elections, data analytics in election as well as in the governance, the solution what we feel or what we want to promote as together as forum of digital politics as well as with the BPAC is basically a digital politics, which is nothing but a digital weapon which can be used as a solutions, where it brings tools and technology, and thereby it creates a platform for politics for all. So each and every people can enter into the politics, which provides tools and which with the help of tools and technologies. So that is where we say the route to the basically to the parliament or to the local body organization is with the help of digital politics, which creates a platform for all people to enter into the politics. So we will discuss further in upcoming slides and how that can be helped by each and every people into the system. Okay, now the first session is basically on how data analytics is used in election campaigns. Okay, this is very important slide which I want everybody to concentrate on it. Basically, what are the problems in elections? So what we see as a problem in elections, where we feel that most of the people are staying away from election, even the good and honest people are staying away from the election. So what is the major 6 problems which we feel that the people are not entering into the politics, and how it can be mitigated? So the first one is disengagement. Many people lack confidence, so they want to participate in the elections, they want to do something to the people which they belongs to, or to the society which they belongs to, but they lack confidence somehow. Is the present politics which been threatened, or they have been threatened by with the help of the or the dominant by the money and the power which has been occupied at the society level or at the political level. So that's why the people don't want to enter into the politics, and they stay away from the system. And the second most important point what we established is it is very high campaign cost. Any individual or a good guy want to do a campaign, or they want to reach out to the people, the cost to do marketing is very high in the current political system. Even if you take India as a two parts, northern and southern India, the South Indian are the states where the campaign cost is very, very high in terms of comparing to the northern state. So the financial demand is very high, and the common individual is facing very difficult to compete with other high people, high wealthy and strong people. And the third one is lack of awareness. So which is where the BPAC is bringing the process into place, where it is helping in creating awareness to the multiple people. But still, many potential candidates are unfamiliar with the elections and the processes and the legal requirements, so which help them to stay away from the elections. And the independent candidates often struggle to access to the tools as well as the support and to run the campaign. So which they have very limited access, and they don't want to spend much more money into it, and very difficult for independent candidate to succeed in any constituency. So basically, if you see the one of any independent candidate who won the election would be a part of earlier political party, or any the background of him would be from the political family. So as a non-political family or a true honest guy is not able to enter into the politics with a very limited access to the systems. And the fifth most important is what we see as a corruptions. So money power, and the corruptions completely distorts and marginalizing the honest and capable candidates. So the good guys are not able to enter into the politics because they have been, the complete system has been corrupted with the help of money. And the sixth one, what we see is as an inequalities. So the resources or the processes are not equal to each and every people into the system. So these are the 6 major problems which we see as a key barriers for the people common man to enter into the politics. So how do we mitigate these problems is what we will be discussing with the help of the data. So election is basically a game is what we thought. So so game is of two types. If you see a running race, basically people will run into a track in order to having with the mentality of winning the race. So here the ultimate goal of a person is to win the race. He wants to be a leader into it, and he want to win so that he wins the cup. So that is the ultimate aim or ultimate thought is to reach the goal and win the race. But if you take about the other game like football or any other game, here the game plays two parts. One is you have to have a two idea. Either one is you have to be winning is one ultimate goal, but other if you see is defeating is the internal goal. So that is where the politics comes into place. Even though I do not win, but I need to somebody who's the competitor needs to be defeated. So that is where the game played in the politics. So the politics game is all about not winning it, but defeating the competitors. So that is where the comparison between the running race and the football comes into the place. So this is where the data plays an important role, and the digital technology tools also plays an important role, how that can be leveraged in terms of defeating the people and you making win the game. Okay, so this slide actually represents uh, basic structure of the politics where you defeat your oppositions with a strong techno-election analytical tool. So that is where the which we are talking as an initial talk, the data analytics tool is needs to be required in each and every people hand so that the election entry into the election will be easier and managing the election would be much easier with the tools and technology. Okay. Now, first, if at all you enter into a politics, we see a major topic, four vertical, where it's very important to handle it. Number one is the cadre manager. So, what is cadre manager? So, cadre manager is basically the strength is your cadre, not all the volunteers. You would be hiring the cadres for doing some work at the ground level to meet the people and to talk to the voters in terms in representing you or your party and promoting or marketing for you as well as your party in terms of taking the manifestos to the at the ground level. So this is where the cadre manager comes into pictures. But all cadres is very important, but not all the volunteers. So this is where we put a quote. And how do we do that? So basically, whenever you enter into a politics or into an election, so you need to know who are your cadres, where are your cadres. So if at all your cadres are been not working properly, it's very difficult for you to win the game, win the election, right? So it's better to have a live tracking on the cadre. So it's just like an employee tracking applications, which is available in the market where that tools and technologies are used in the same way where it will be helpful to track your cadres. Let's say you are contesting for an MLA elections. So there are almost 250 to 300 booths in a constituency. So it is always required to know where are your cadres are working. So that gives you a very imagine a Google map where just like a Ola cab, you will be seeing just like in Ola cab, you will see where all the cars are moving before booking the cab, right? So similarly, you need to know where are your cadres working, whether they are working really onto your constituency or they're really going on to the each and every door-to-door campaign is being done. Because the door-to-door campaign is very basic and effective tool or effective marketing techniques still from the olden to the latest thing where we need to know how the cadres are being reaching each and every doorstep. So this is where people or the candidate needs to know about it. And what are the results? So basically, this is the outcome of the cadres work. Are they really going each and every streets of the people, of streets of the constituency, and meeting the required voters into their houses? And are they collecting the necessary data? Data collection is basically whether they are staying in the house or they have been relocated to the multiple area or they have been out of the constituency. So these are the data verifications generally does in the election time. So you might be aware of each and whenever the karyakartas, the cadre would come to your house and ask whether you are the person, how many people are there. So these are the basic data collection they does, or data verification they does, that these are the people are available in the area. It helps the candidate to reach out to that location. And the voter and cadre relation is very important because he is the final one who's taking your manifestos to the doorstep, and frequent communications with the cadre is also very important. So imagine a tool for this. So this is a tool which helps you to manage your data in terms of cadre. Like you onboard all your cadre into a tool, you might be knowing each and every cadre is been allotted to a particular booth, and you will track the cadre at the live tracking in the Google Map, and you will know the result whether he has gone to the particular house, or and you will come to know whenever the pamphlet has been given to the cadre or the karyakartas, whether he has been taken, that pamphlets have been taken and gone to each and every house. That kind of tracking level, granular level is been possible. And the frequent communication is basically whenever the candidate wants to go to a particular place. Now what's happening is everybody is communicating in the WhatsApp group. They create a group, and where the candidate announces saying that I will come to your place and make things ready. So somebody will call to the cadre and they say. So imagine a tool where it will be very easy in order to communicate with the cadre saying that tomorrow this is my schedule, I will be coming to your booth and keep the things ready. So these kind of tools and technology is available in the market, where as you as a candidate or the aspirants would be needed, where if you see most of the cadres or most of the volunteers or may not deliver the work properly on ground. So this is what we seen in our journey of these political consulting services. So the problem with mainly with the candidate is unable to manage the cadre. So they have to trust the cadre, but you cannot handle the cadre as an employee, because he is not a paid guy, and he has his own reputation at the ground level. So it is always better to have a tracking on the cadre politely, and handling it with care, and then get the things done from him. So all this can happen only with the help of the tool and technology. So this will help you to reach out and manage the cadre very effectively. So there are some tools. So I don't want to promote the tools here, but there are some tools in the market which helps you to do the cadre manager. And number second is voter manager. So who is your voter? Basically, the customer is your voter, not all the public. Not all the citizens are your voter. So you have to target who's your voter, and those voter needs to be detailed understanding has to be there, and where are they located has to be there. How a particular candidate can reach to that voter has to be properly managed. So where are your voters? So probably what we can do is we can geotag each and every voters. There are some tools which is helping you to geotag the voters at the map level, at the granular level, and you can segment the voter, and you can do a detailed profiling of the voters. And so you can, just like a CRM tool, if whenever you do a business, basically you will be first investment would be a CRM tool. So that is where you understand the complete profile of your customers. So similarly, in the election, the customer is your voter. So you need to understand, if you're going through a particular, let's say if you are going to a particular street, if you see there is no voter in that particular street, so there is no point in going to that street at all, right? So it's a waste of time, and it's waste of money to spend on that street. So it is better to understand before starting the campaigning, or before reaching out to the voter. It is better to understand where your voters are concentrated. So reach out to that voters, because those are the guys who really interested in voting you and selecting you as a representative. So it's better to understand who is your voter and who is your non-voter. So those kind of segregation or segmentation has to happen, and detailed profiling has to happen, and you need to understand your voters. So where your voter is, who your voter is, and how your voter is. So these are the segmentation, and these are the categorization can happen with the help of voter manager tool. So as I said, for the election, the two topics is, one is you have to manage your, assume that you are a candidate, right? You might be a councillor, or you might be an MLA candidate, or you might be a MP candidate. The two most important thing is first you have to manage your cadre. So there should be a tools and technology to monitor your cadre. And second is you should know your voter. Basically, he is your customers to reach out. So with the help of the cadre, you reach out to your customer, which is basically a voter. So these are the two management tool which is needs to be taken care whenever you consider to be contested in election. And our third one is basically the poll day manager. Now, let's say you done the cadre management, you have reached out to the voter management, and you had all these things. And the final result is the poll day. So, what is poll day? Poll day means the election day. And what is important for this election day is the voter turnouts. So, maximum participation has to happen in the voter turnout. So, what can be done for the poll day management? So, one thing is real time tracking. Though real time is not possible, it is near to real time is what we want to project. Let's say you might, since you might be knowing that whenever there is a poll election day happens, there will be a booth agent from the different political parties would be sitting inside the booth area, means the booth room, and they used to tick the voters attendance. Basically, whenever you come, they say the serial number, this guy Manjunath has been attended, and they will just take, and then they will allow it to the voting. So this kind of ticking is happening manually currently, right? So there will be a paper inside with the booth agent, and he will stick the presence of the voters whoever comes for polling it. And there can be a system, there is a system, and where this manual tick can be replaced by digital tick with the a tool, where let's say as I said, now MLA constituency is almost 300 300 plus booths, 250 to 300 plus booth, and each and every booth people are sitting and ticking the voters presence. So where it's very difficult to know which booth has highest participation, which booth has lowest participation. So imagine a system where you do a digital tick. That digital tick can be seen in a war room. About all 300 booths are in the war room with a graphs showing that in a particular booth one has been the polled for 50%, particular booth two has been polled for 20% and 30%. So this kind of real-time tracking will help you so that you can plan a strategy on the poll day. Like if the people are not coming into it, maybe you can reach out to them in digitally, saying them it's time up, please come and vote it. So these kind of information can be communicated to the voters. So this is where the real-time tracking helps you. And form 20 analysis is basically a previous year voting pattern, and you can analyze the form 20 where each and every booth, what is the percentage of vote each and every candidate or each and every political party got is been given in the election commission website itself. So these are the data which helps you to plan your campaign well in advance. So this kind of form 20 analysis is also available in the market, where and in the with the help of the tools you can understand peak hours and non-peak hours, which time the generally the people comes and for the voting, and which time is people are not coming for voting, so that you can manage your campaign or you can manage your logistic, so that the old age people or the people handicapped people can be planned in such a way for the election. Booth wise report is what I said as a form 20 analytics, as well as a sorry, as well as the online real time tracking on each booth how much vote has been polled. And the fourth one is campaign and turnout. So you have initially done your campaign with the help of the cadre, and you will see how much people have really turned out. So it's a live thing with the help of data you can do, and you can do a predictive modeling. I think it's a spelling mistake over there. So there's a predictive modeling which can help you to decide for the next election, as well as to the previous in this election when you have done a previous election form 20 analysis. If you would have done it, that would help you to model it as a how it will react in terms of current election or in the future election. So these are the poll day manager tool which is available in the market, which helps you to do all this tracking digitally, and data has been collected accordingly, and so that is where the insights would be thrown out. So this is the third one, which is the poll day manager. And our fourth is basically an outreach manager. So once you have the cadre, you have onboarded the cadre onto the tool, you have onboarded voter into the tool, and you have segmented voter into the tool, and both of them are ready, right? Now you have to communicate to each and every voters. So there are various platforms. There can be an SMS, there can be a uh, uh, the call, voice call, or there can be WhatsApp communications, or those communications are being used. So currently the personalization is what the key is. So micro targeting is where people are into reaching out to the voters. Even if you take Facebook and Instagram, each and every of your move is being monitored, and personalized content of advertisement is being targeted into reaching out to you. So this is where this outreach manager comes into picture. So if you categorize the voter, if you profile the voters, then you can help you to this campaign manager help you to target geographically. And there are some interactive bots to discuss interact with voters and understand what voters are required, and accordingly you can help you to communicate the manifestos or personalized stuff to the voters. And recently, just 2 days before, there was an inquiry for us in Maharashtra and Haryana election, where the leaders is looking for interactive voice call, like real time human like voice call. So the leader want to reach out to each and every voter. Yes, of course the legal stuff is there which has to be taken care, which will be taken care as a process, which every party is taking care, and even the election commission is continuously monitoring the violation of the other stuff, and how legally it is being approached to reach out the voters. So without voters consent we cannot reach out to any voters. But this is the technology which the people are looking for it, that I want to bring it to the notice, saying that interactive voice call is the recent requirement which we got from one of the political party, saying that a leader has to call, means the AI chatbot or the AI voice bot should be there, where it calls each and every voters as calling as the leader is calling, and it can be interactive as real as the human is interacting. It's not just a voice blast, that pre-recorded voice call doesn't goes. It is like if I ask, if a politician calls me and saying that, hi Anandan, how are you? Then I have to say that I am fine. And he will be replying it accordingly what I reply, and he will be replying it. So this is the kind of real-time artificial intelligence or generative AI system is being used in terms of interactive voice communication. So that will be more personalized, and this can be used for volunteer or the cadre manager also. Imagine a party leader, either Modi or Rahul Gandhi or any other party leaders, calls a particular volunteer and says that, hi, please help us, our candidate to win in that particular area, and you are most important in terms of our party level, and how he feels, how the volunteers or the cadre feels. So he really feels that the party leader has called me and he has been interacted with me in terms of the way of output or the productivity from that particular guy would be much more in terms of delivery. So this is where the outreach manager works, and there is a do not disturb mode. And if you see, during election time, many people get frustrated by these political parties or the people who coming out each and every time to their houses in terms of promotions and marketing. So there can be an option saying in the tool saying that not to disturb this particular voter in terms of promotion and everything, so that we will not disturb those voters, and only one or two times we will do that, and after that we will not disturb. So these are the technical strategies can be defined on this uh, outreach management. So these are the four things. I just repeat, I just go back and probably summarize it. So two things. One is four things. One is the cadre manager, and who basically manages the cadres, and voter manager is basically to manage your voters. And third one is the poll day manager, how to manage your voters turnout on the election day. And fourth would be your outreach manager, how you effectively reach to the voters with the help of data. So these are the four verticals which is needs to be taken care by any election, any candidate who contest in any election. It can be a local panchayat election, or it can be a councillor election, urban body election, or it can be a MLA or MP election. So these are the four key things which we want to consider it in terms of election. Okay, now I just want to over to Ashita in terms of open house. So if you have any questions on this session one, so maybe Ashita can take it up and we can discuss over that.
I think two people have raised hands. Sir, could you please type your message in the chat? I think Mr. Shivraman has asked a question on why does Election Commission take 30 to 45 days even after, even for Form 8 application attached to Aadhaar card? I don't know if you're the right person to ask the question, but like if you have any knowledge about this, if you could share some light.
And sorry, what is the question is all about?
Why does the Election Commission take 30 to 45 days for Form 8 application attached to Aadhaar card?
No, this is about the voter enrollment, right?
Yeah,
So that is not this out of out of scope question.
I can
Sorry.
understand. Can booth level agents of political party apply, get the card? I'm sorry, I think we don't have any specific question with regards to your first this one. Shivraman sir, if you have any question that is directly involving what you just heard from Mr. Anandan in the first section of the election campaigns, please type that out. Yogesh has asked what options are available for ULBs.
So what options means, I don't remember what option he wants to know. So basically you will be what options in the sense what?
Mr. Yogesh, if you could type a little bit more
Uh,
about your question, we can take it
So
up.
there are the four things which you have to consider. As I told, no? Cadre manager, voter manager, grievance manager, sorry,
Mhm.
the poll day manager, and the outreach manager. So these are the four tools which you have to consider, and all four are very important. So I don't know what options you're talking about. Probably you can type more on it. We will able to discuss further on it.
Okay. Vinod Kartavya has said it is a very nice session, but the tool which you provide will have the data for voters with respect to Bangalore. That's his question.
See, basically, this is a CRM tool.
Mhm.
You start a business, right? Let's say, assume that you start a business. So there are multiple CRM tool in a market. So does the CRM tool provides the data of your customer also? So no, right? So that is not possible. So this is a tool. Basically, it's a technology tool. Like if you want to start a restaurant, so you will buy a tool for doing the POS printing, the billing, all the stuff. So the restaurant, the tool guy will not provide you the customer whom you want to sell this food. So not, that is not. So voter database is already available in the market, or you can buy it from the local, the election commission office, and you can upload it and you can manage it. So that is up to, that is legal and you can do that. Provided it is not, you are not selling that voter data anywhere. So it is your own database where you are using for your marketing tool. See, currently the voter database is given in the hard copy format. So you have to apply for voter database whenever you contest in an election. You have to apply in the local election commission office, and they give a printout of the voter database. So that will be there, and based on that voter database, you can probably create a digital version of that, and you can manage the tool for your election management.
Okay, Mr. Yogesh's question was with respect to because there are less booth numbers and less voters, so he's asking if all these options can be used at a local body election.
Yes, yes, yes. See, like as I said, the tool is available in the market where it can be customizable, where you can any number of booth, any number of voters can be there. See, in Tamil Nadu, we have done one elections for town panchayat elections. So basically, in Tamil Nadu has three level of urban body: municipality, corporation, and town panchayat. It's a lowest urban body of town panchayat where the voter database would be per booth, or the maximum per ward would be not less than 1000 or 1500. So even that you can use the tool. So any number of voters, any number of booth, the tool can be used.
So there are a few more questions. We'll just take them. They're all pertinent to what we've just discussed. So Mr. Devraj is asking, how can I help our ward corporator MLA election through this data analytics strategy? He wants to start to his career in an election strategy. So do you have any thoughts for him?
Yes. So, good question, Devraj. So, basically, whenever you want to contest in election, either you or your ward councillor or anybody, there should be a tool, right? So, what is the basic requirement of a candidate? So, whenever you want to contest in election, you should have a voter database. Without voter database, you cannot reach out to the voter, right? So, that is the basic requirement. And similarly, now since we are moving from non-digital politics to digital politics or digital election, the first and foremost the requirement for any candidate to have a tool, a technology tool. It can be a basic Excel sheet also. Basic Excel sheet or basic Power BI tool or any tool, analytical tool is the basic requirement of the corporator or an MLA or an MP. So if you want to be an election strategist, you should learn about these tools which are available in the market. Try to use to that and get, there are some free versions also available. Use that and analyze something out of it and come out with the insights, and that's how the career is open. Now the political tech career is open to everybody. So more opportunities are there, and you can still explore a strategist and technologist as well.
Right, sir. The other thing is, there's someone who's written, G1. Why Southern state elections cost more and how is it measured?
It's a very typical question. So I don't know. Are you asking just like that, or you really don't know about this? If you measure it, southern states, the four states, except Kerala, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu, these four states spends heavily on elections when compared to other northern states. The reason or more, and the measurement is also there, but everybody knows what is the measurement criteria. But I don't want to say it in this common platform. Except Kerala, other states are spent heavily in terms of elections. So that is the current condition of Indian politics.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. But Arun has asked, how can you ensure human connect through this? Like how to reach non-tech voters?
See, non-tech voters, there are nothing like everybody nowadays with phone numbers, mobile phones, and other thing, right? So almost 45% of people, see, there's a stats in India saying that out of 100% of populations, 45% of populations are in internet and 34% populations are in social media. So this tech populations, what we're targeting is only the 35% or the 45%. That is what we have been targeting through the technology. And we foresee that in an upcoming future, these non-tech people would be moving to technology. So the current solution what we're giving is only to reach out the technology voters who are equipped with the mobile phone, at least basic mobile phone. Even the 2G mobile phone is enough to reach out to them. So those kind is what we are doing it. But this is where the data analytics comes into picture. So this tool will help you to categorize how many technology voters are there, how many non-tech voters are there. So basic, and then you can define a strategy out of that, a separate strategy for technology voters and separate strategy for non-technology voters. So this tool will help you to give that. So those are the tools which is available in the market. So see how you can reach out to it. So with the help of the tool doesn't mean that you have to reach out to non-tech voters, but this will help you to give the percentage, how much percentage of non-tech is there. Let's say many people says that urban area is having the more tech voters, but if I see most of the experience or most of the thing we see is even in the rural area, more tech voters are there when compared to urban. So that stats is already there in some of the assemblies. So it varies from assembly to assembly, means constituency to constituency, and this tool will help you to give those bifurcations.
Okay. Mr. Sampath Ramanujam is asking, when you say tracking of volunteers, is it tracking presence of them in that area or where they have touched upon and had an impact?
It's
Tracking
a
physical
yeah,
location?
it's two kind of tracking. Just like Google Map, whenever you travel it, you knows which path you travel. So those kind of tracking is also possible. And if you want to do only the touch points, let's say the volunteer has gone to a particular house and he has visited that, that can also be possible. So two kind of tracking is available. So if you want to, it depends upon the costing structure on the tools. So if you want to buy only the touch point based, that is a separately costed in the market. And if you want to buy the real-time tracking, how that guy is traveling, what route he has taken, that is a different costing which has been available. So two kind of tracking is there.
Okay. Mr. Prem Kumar is asking, how can we reach out the voters through AI chatbot as it is new?
See, just like Chat GPT, there is a company in our circle which working with a political GPT, means I think for political GPT is kind of tool they are doing it, where if you can ask anything about a particular party, let's say there is a Congress GPT or a BJP GPT. So there's a GPT which they are researching into it. So whichever question you ask in the GPT, right? Like, why should I vote for Congress? So why should I not vote for Congress? Why should I not to vote to BJP? Whichever question you tweak and ask, the chatbot will give you all the positive side of the particular party which has been developed for the marketing. So those kind of tools which is about to come in the future, it's not too far. It is just 3 to 4 months time. Maybe in the next election you would see a good amount of chatbots and AI chatbots and the AI GPT would be coming into the market.
Okay. Ms. Rajeshwari is asked, thank you for the good information, but can you give some tips for choosing a better representative as a responsible voter or a citizen who treat us as citizens rather than a customer or vote donate?
Vote donator.
Yeah.
Okay. See, basically, that is where the technology breaks this barrier. Currently, what is happening? The money power and the powerful background guys are coming into the politics. Why the good people or the honest people are staying away from the politics? I have listed out some 6 points. So this technology and the tools will help you to break that barrier, and the platform will be created for everybody. Like good people coming into the ring, the boxing ring, everybody can come into the boxing ring with the help of the uh, the technology and tools. So it's very creates a common platform that good guys will come into the picture, provided the platform is open to everybody. So that is where the digital politics is trying to do. The forum of digital politics, the main agenda of forum of digital politics is to provide a platform with the help of tools and technology for the honest and capable citizen to come into the politics.
Right. So, Mr. Darshan, and there's another anonymous attendee who's has similar questions. One has asked, what is the procedure to obtain the data for this election and voting? And the other person has asked about, do other people have access to the information that we've collected through
No,
these
no.
tools?
One is the procedure to obtain the election data is basically you can apply for election commission local body, means the local officers, election officers, which will be started during the election. And there are some data available in the election commission website also. So those things can also be used. If you cannot buy from the election commission, you can use it from the online PDF stuff, because the one which we give, election commission gives with the help, with the photograph of the voters for people to identify, for the candidate to identify. But in the online mode, online version, the photograph will not be there. So both are available in the market. The one which we buy from, one which we get from election commission will be at a cost, but one way which we download from the election website will be at free of cost. So these are the two data available in the market. And what is the second question? Sorry.
No, it was similar. I think you've answered both. And who has access to this information? Once you collect it, it's not public, it is within
No, no,
the.
it is your own CRM.
Yeah.
Like you create your own CRM. The mail ID you create in Gmail is not publicly viewed. It's your own Gmail email. So this app or this technology, the tools, whatever the data you maintain is your own data. It is not visible to anybody.
Okay. I think I'll just take last two questions. One is, two people have asked similar questions. An anonymous attendee and Mr. Vinod Kartavya asked, when you have like shortage and small group of people, like 30 cadre is sufficient for operating the tools for BBMP election.
Yeah. Even 5 people is enough. Even 1 people is also enough. See,
Okay.
30 cadre is sufficient for operating tool. Tool operation you have to give like one uh, per booth you can allot 1 cadre, or per booth you can allot 2 cadre, or somebody what will do is they go as a page wise cadre allotment also. Means they say in the north, in the Hindi they call it as Panna Pramukh, where each and every page, one page will have 30 voters. So for 30 voters, there will be one volunteer will be allotted from a party level. Imagine the strength of party. 30 voters, let's say if you have 2 lakh voters divided by 30, that kind of volunteers will be on the ground. So the one volunteer has to target these 30 voters and bring them to vote. This is the level of volunteer management. This is the level of micromanagement is happening at the ground level at different states.
Right. I think one more question before we move to the other section is, how do you ensure the digital tools are used effectively to manage a project, especially if your team is not familiar with these tools. Can you describe the steps you would take to train and support your team to use these tools?
See, there are two services provided in the market. One is just a tool. They provide the tool and you manage it on your own. And there are other service, they provide a tool with a manpower to manage the tool. So these are the two services available in the market. So if you are capable, the tool is not that difficult to learn it. So if you are capable of managing with the tool, you can buy only the tool and manage yourself by putting a guy into it. Or if you don't know how to manage, you don't want to take risk during the election time, you can hire the management guy from the tool provider itself. So that is easily available. That's not an issue. And one guy asked very good question. One guy has asked about how do you check the duplicate or bogus voters? Very, very important for the Indian election. So I think Arun, thank you Arun for this very good question. So in India, most of the people where the bogus voters have been voting for others. So where this tool, whenever you go, so in the second slide I have said voter manager, right? So whenever you go each and every booth, every voter's house, you the data has been verified physically in the tool, in the technology tool which available in the market, right? So where you will identify that I have verified this guy physically into the means the cadre will be going each and every house and he will enter that voter manager section that this I have seen this guy and physically I have been verified. So that guy will be verified. And there are possibilities that whenever this guy goes into that house, sorry, that voter is not available, or he might be shifted that house, he might be shifted his house to other constituency or to the other state or to other country, right? This is possible. So that cadre has to mark to the particular voter saying that this guy is not available whenever I visited. So the same data will be given to the booth agent during the election day, and he will ensure that when my cadre visited, this guy was not available in the house and not able to track this guy. But how do you how do you come for now voting? So you can double verify the documentation which he provides, whether the voter ID card or the Aadhaar card or anything, and ensure he's a real voter. So by this, you can avoid the bogus or the duplicate voters, the fake voters. So basically, we call it as avoiding how to avoid the fake voters with the help of the tool.
Right, sir. I think largely all questions are done.
Done.
We can move to the next segment.
Okay. Thank you. Now the election is done. You have been elected, and all process have been followed, and you have become a good elected representative. Means you have elected as a representative of your region. Either it can be councillor, or it can be panchayat president, or it can be Jilla Parishad president, or MP, MLA. Now the ball is in your court. The people have elected you, and now it's your job to give a good governance to the people. What are the problems in governance? So as we started with problems in elections, so here we start, what is a major problem in governance? Inefficient resource allocations. Like if you see most of the offices, government offices, there is, you would see the resources are not efficient enough to deliver the result. It can be inefficient, sometimes it is insufficient also. Most of the government officers do not have the post filled also. Many people, the vacancy is there and unable to resource, inefficient resource has been allotted. Lack of transparency, which everybody does. Even the government of Karnataka is recently formed just a year before. And even everywhere, even now Haryana election is happening. Tomorrow is the nominations going to start, where the lack of transparency, the management is not clear. Means the complete government, what's happening in the ground, who's getting benefit, those kind of transparency is not there in the governance. Policy inefficiency. Basically, you don't know which policy needs to be given to whom, and the outcomes is not adequate to understand the problem. So that is where the ineffectiveness is there. And citizen engagement and feedback. If you see, still there are some engagement portal available in the government. Like you can still write to the CM cell or to the PM cell or to the any police station or police cell or anything. Still the citizen are able to submit their queries, means they can submit the memo. But if you see, they close the case without contacting you back, or they don't take care. The process are there in place. The problem is the execution. You see, the call center is there, the CM cell engagement feedback provision is there, and even the police online the case online filing of the FIR is also there. Everything is there in place, but the execution or the effectiveness of using is not, applicability is not actually undertaking on the ground. And the fifth important is the crisis management, like the corona situations or any natural calamities. How the government is managing the crisis. There is no well-planned structure. Still, the government is struggling in terms of managing the crisis. Either it can be yesterday, just today, there is a flood in Andhra Pradesh. If you see how they are managing, is still a big question of managing the flood, right? So this is one of the how they have to respond to the people, and timely information has to be shared. So those things still government struggles in terms of managing the crisis. And number six is inequality. So this is there in both. Even in the election there is an inequalities, and even in governance there is inequality. Some people gets benefits, some people don't get the benefits. So these are the major six problems we have listed out in terms of governance, how these can be rectified with the help of the data and tools. Now if you have been elected as a elected representative and you are the managing a particular constituency, the first and foremost thing is you should have a grievance manager. So the real problem what we face in this grievance manager is, everybody want to understand, the citizen wants to reach out to the MLA or MP or the councillor for their grievance. But now how the grievance, the real thing, the process, what is currently happening is, whenever you want to reach out to MLA or an MP, you find somebody as a broker who is very close to MLA or MP and try to go with him and submit a grievance. There is an MLA office at each constituency level, and though MP office is not funded, each MPs are authorized to keep an office which is a reimbursed office at the central level. And the councillors do not have an office, but officially they do not have the office, but every councillor in the particular region have an office for the grievance. But the problem is nobody able to go to those guys and reach out to the reach out for solutions. So that is where everybody want to go for techie stuff and technology oriented. So it is better to have a grievance management app, so which is available in the market. You can just search over Google, and there are some products in the market which helps you to connect the citizen and the elected representative, right, where the citizen can reach out to the elected representative through mobile and with a ticketing ID, and whether it is solved, trackable solutions, whether it is solved, where is the ticket lying, all those stuff, all those processes are in place. But the problem what we face is okay, let me put this. So here what we say is, as a grievance manager, customer is your citizen, not the voter. You see the difference. During election, the customer is your voter, not the citizen. But here, the customer is your citizen, not the voter, right? You have to meet or you have to serve all the citizens, because the citizen can be a voter tomorrow, right? He do not have a vote today, but he can get a vote tomorrow in your same constituency, and he can decide your fate of election tomorrow. So customer is your citizen here. So you need to know who is your citizen and who is your voter. So that is where this grievance manager will help you to map each and every queries respect to the voters. So you should know population versus voters, basically citizen versus voters. How many people are there in your constituency? Let's say 1 lakh people are there in your constituency. Means citizen means I'm talking about 18 plus who are capable of voters. Not all people are, I'm just not talking about the population. Basically, I'm talking about the 18 plus people who do not have vote and voter. So basically voter and non-voters percentage. So this can help you to give you a strategy how you can solve an issue. And scheme awareness, and those schemes which is introduced by state government and central government, many people does not know, and every schemes have broker in the market. So whenever you want to apply for particular scheme, you have to go to a broker and then only you apply and you pay some money to the broker and get that scheme benefit. So those schemes can be listed in this grievance or the constituency management app. Just you can rename this grievance manager as a constituency manager. So where you apply or where you upload all the schemes which is been listed, and those schemes can be availed by the character by the what I mean citizens. And number third one is the ERT deployment, emergency response team. You create a team internally, which and plan it. It's just like a business continuity plan. Every organization have a BCP plan. So similarly, you have a BCP plan for your constituency. Identify some of the volunteers in your constituency or in your ward area, and give them as a ERT team. Give them a tag. So whenever the crisis comes, deploy them on the ground and try to solve it immediately, and that will have really that will create close the gap between the government and the public. So those kind of action can be taken. For all these to do, we need a data. For that data, we need a tool. So that tool needs to be effectively used by the people, by the candidate or by the elected representative. And you collect the feedback analysis. You promote some schemes. Maybe you collect feedback from the people, and you segment those people so that you can identify which people needs what kind of schemes can be introduced, and those kind of segmentation can be happen. And even every benefit or every schemes or need can be mapped to the voter, so that you will understand each voter of your constituency what are the benefit he got, whether he got free LPG, whether he got free house, whether he got the farmer monthly income benefit. So these things can be mapped, and this will be helpful for you to do a campaign in the next election. So this is where the voter profiling and voter mapping from the constituency management can be done. So this is the overall management. For doing all these things, you need a data to be collected. For data cannot be collected manually and maintained manually. And for that, you need at least a minimum Excel sheet kind of stuff. Sorry. Excel sheet is required, and or if you have some if you want to go and leverage the benefit of technology, you can go for constituency management tool. So which will give you all end-to-end insights and the management. This is the digital governance. So as I said, no, this is the latest information. It's a today's information where the based on the, if you let's say if you segregated, if you identified these are the flood area, these are the non-flood area, this is in this my constituency, these are the EAT members, these are the volunteers available in this area, and if it is been data been collected so accurately, and if you have the complete constituency data, you can easily meet the people requirement during crisis. Even now today is a heavy flood in Andhra, and the drones are being used to deliver the food to the people. And this is a good governance which has been taking place currently, and it's a good example of today's scenario. I'm not talking about yesterday's or future scenario, and this is the current news which has been happened in the Andhra. So you can just Google it and see drones are being used. It's thanks to Chandrababu Naidu, and it's a good governance of him, and he's been taking these initiatives, and he is named for technology. So, and he is using the technology to reach out to the people. So this is where the data plays very important role. Maybe they might not have the data at the current stage, but as you as an elected representative, you as a counselor of that particular area, it is better you categorize your segment your area, categorize your voters, profile your voters, and plan it accordingly for any crisis which is about to happen in the future. So there are some sample tools which I said available in the market, which is basically for the grievance management. There are some tools, and citizen engagement. You can engage with the citizen, get the feedback from them. You can fund management and reporting. If you see, MLA and MP have been allotted with a fund every year. For MLA, there is a 3 crores of management, constituency management fund per year. And for MP, there is a 5 crore of fund management per year. Did you get any report from the MLA or MP that those funds are used where? Those clarity is not available to us at all. So this constituency management app, or you can publish that these are the funds I got, 3 crore fund I got from the government, I have been used, these are the areas, and those reporting can also be given to the public. So that will give you the confidence in the public. These things can happen only with the help of the tool, right? So how much money has been allotted, where all it is spent, which platform it has been spent. So those things, those clarity can be presented to the public, and by this way you empower the voices of the people. So a responsive government, that is very important, and it is the foundation for the better people life and people citizens lifestyle. So you can create tool in the WhatsApp, you can create tool in Telegram if you want to be a cost efficient, or there are some tools in the market with the mobile app, and uh, uh, the web page based tool is also available. So these are some of the tools which is available in the market, which still you can explore it. So that's it from the governance. As part of forum of digital politics, we are taking these initiatives and reaching out to the multiple people across conclave. So we are conducting digital politics conclave in order to promote the digital tools and technologies which is available in the market. So these are some of the snapshots which has been the first digital politics conclave we have conducted in Hosur, near to Bangalore, which is 3-state border, so that we can cover Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Andhra. This was been done just before the Lok Sabha election. And this is another digital politics conclave which we have conducted and promoted and dealt in terms of Salem, the Tamil Nadu region, Salem, where we have promoted the technology use, which is used for upcoming Lok Sabha election during that time. And this is Digital Politics Conclave 3, where we have done in Madurai, calling all the MP candidate, and we brought all the technology provider also to the same platform, where technology providers and the MP candidates were on the same conclave, where both of them exchanges the technologies and the services to the candidates. So this one we have done, and we have also done couple of generative AI event also, where how digital politics means how the AI and the chatbots plays very important role in digital politics. So this is one of the conclave on generative AI. So with this, I strongly recommend, if you are being into politics, or if you are into governance, or if you want to join the election part, you can join the forum of digital politics by scanning this QR code. It is just a WhatsApp community group, and you can be part of it, and you can know what are the technologies available in the market, and you can probably avail that and meet the people and take care of your election strategy as well as the governance strategy. And over to Ashita for open house of session 2.
Sorry, I was on mute. So Mr. Shivaraman had a question on how do we use digital technology specific to, at a grassroots level for black spot removal and elimination and all of that. So if you have any specific thoughts for him, we can share.
No, sorry, I didn't get it. What
So
was the question?
his question is, how do we use this digital technology to solve the garbage problem and tracking this and make BBMP efficient? Basically, it's a Bangalore Municipal Corporation.
So you, since you can, I told the tool, no, governance tool is there, the constituency management tool. In that tool, you can identify the garbage spots in the Google Map kind of stuff. So where you can report that to the local authorities, as you can collect information from the citizen and you can map it. And just like mapping the voters in the geolocation, you can map those garbage areas in the unauthorized garbage areas into the map, and you can report that, and those things can be taken care. So if you have too many garbage areas in your constituency, that also gives you an idea how you can strategize that in terms of removing it. So all this needs to be happen closely working with the bureaucrats of local body, the BBMP.
Yeah, there's only so much technology can be used to track and identify the problem, but I think in these specific governance cases, it is the human intervention in the governance structure that is important.
Yes.
I'll just check if there's any other questions. Okay. Mr. Ramesh Chandar has asked a question on do we get the data of voters or citizens which can be imported into the digital tool? Data available is in PDF or printed format. So what is the solution for that?
You can type manually. You can hire a data entry guy and you can type manually. Or there are some Google Vision tool which reads the images
PDF.
and you can helps to convert those things. So technologies are available. So you have to explore that.
Okay, I think Mr. Yogesh has a question on any tools for fixing the accountability of MP or MLA by voter.
So the policy makers or MLAs and MP, so they don't give opportunity for this by them. So it is like backfiring, na? So they
Yeah.
don't give currently into the system. So
Mm.
maybe the policy has to be changed. So that is where Forum of Digital Politics is also formed. So we are
Mm.
not just promoting the technology and tools, we are also want to do a policy change into the system. So maybe in future we can bring that accountability process.
Yeah, I think that has to be some sort of a super tool for that to happen,
Yes.
but one can always hope.
Yes,
On
yes.
that note, if anybody has any questions, we have some time. If not, we will have to conclude this session for today. This recording will be available on YouTube. We will share the link with you on our platforms. But any other last questions that you could type out? Mr. Yogesh wanted to know, is there a list of free tools that is available? I think you can join that forum that sir had showed. So you can maybe get some links over there.
Yes.
And then Ms. Rajeshwari is asked how to strengthen decentralized governance in all three tier governance system. How power of example, how power of councillor, MLA, and MP can be decentralized. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, it is already decentralized. No? So we have in our constitution, we have three level of governance. So union governance, state governance, and local body governance. So it's already decentralized. The power of local body is still more, and those things are not explored by the councillors. So they fear about the MLAs and MPs, but
Yeah,
that is very different. And maybe the BPAC comes into the picture saying that the power of local body is very, very high when compared to MLAs and MPs.
that's
See,
true.
even if MLA has to contest, he cannot reach out to each and every house. He depends on the local body guy, the councillor, to reach out to each and every house. So this tool has to be equipped with the councillors rather than ML and MP. Imagine a tool of five booths. Let's say for kind of Bangalore, you will have a local body area of let's say 44,000 of voters out of some 40 booths. So this tool will help you to get knowledge about these 40,000 people of the voters, so that the MLA, whenever MLA can change, MLA is depend upon the party decisions. But when you are strong about your local body, even you will not be replaced by other guy if you are having a knowledge of your constituency along with the data and with the insights about it. So instead of MLA or MP having the digital tool, it's better to have the counselor to have this.
I think Mr. Arogya Samichinappa has a question on why people support corrupt people and parties, and it's a more of a philosophical question
No,
than.
no, because the right people are not coming into the picture. Na? So that is where the problem. It's not that we support corrupt people, we support less corrupt people. See, politics is not about selecting a guy whom we like it. Election is a process where we elect a people because we don't like that guy. So that is where the election is, because that the guy is more corrupted, so we selected a less corrupt. So digital politics or the technology will give a platform for right people to come into the picture. Because if I don't have a money, I don't want to spend more money. So what is the easiest way to reach out to the people is digitally system. So if digital is available to each and everybody, then more honest and capable people come into the picture, and the corrupt people will be going away from the system.
Saksham is a student who wants to know how to start a career as a political strategist and a consultant. He wants some guidance on that. Sir, if you could just leave the last slide on the thing so that people could probably scan or take a picture, a screenshot of it if you're on your mobile devices, so you can join that community. And if there's any other questions, sir is available on LinkedIn. You can probably reach out directly. But I'll let you answer Saksham's question right now.
Okay, how to start our career as political strategy consultant? Please guide. So it's very easy. How do you want to start any career? Go to that landscape and work on it. You find some uh, candidate whom you know, or you yourself contest in an election. See, because I started my business in politics by contesting in an election. I already contested in MLA. I have contested in local body, and based on this knowledge, I have started a business out of this. So similarly, you find somebody locally whom you can support him in terms of branding himself. It can be personal branding, or it can be technology oriented, or it can be data driven strategy. So you find somebody, work for him, or you yourself can contest in a small area, join the BPAC civic body program, and train out of it, and you can start the strategy stuff as well.
Perfect. And some anonymous attendees asked which cities in India are leveraging technology for good governance and citizens' grievance addressal on daily affairs. Any
In terms of election, the digital politics or digital election, if you prioritize, the first state stands is Telangana. Telangana uses more technology and tools for election, and next would be Karnataka. The third would be Andhra, and the fourth would be this guy is the Gujarat people. So these are the people, and Maharashtra is also there. So these are the states which leverages more technology in terms of election. But in terms of governance, if you ask, there are technology leveraged across India, but the implementation part on the daily affairs is somewhat not that up to the mark and lacking it. And in terms of that, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, South state, mostly South states, are good in terms of addressing the grievance online, means the digital technology used. Those things are there.
right. Yogesh has a question on any manifesto preparation strategy specific to urban local bodies or panchayats.
Yes, if with the help of the election tool, I told, no, election management tool. So you will reach out to each and every voters, and you will collect. You can also collect the feedback into the tool. Like if any voter says that I'm looking for these roads are not proper, these drainages are not good, and I'm looking for law college in my constituency. So these are the some of the feedback or the inputs you can collect from the voters through the cadre. So these informations can be used for manifesto preparation itself. So when I was contesting in a counselor for one of the corporation, I reached out to each and every voters with my team, and they collected the information. One important information was that that area do not have a public toilet facility, and the people were it's very slum area in my ward where I contested. So those guys have given a request saying that if there is a public toilet facility available in this area, it will be helpful for us. There are some 400 voters in that people in that area with a population of, let's say, 150 families, right? So then those information, those feedback has been collected in the tool, and I given that as a that I will, when I selected as a counselor, I will do this public toilet facility. These are the three areas where I give public toilet. So these are the manifesto can be prepared as a strategy, but all these needs data to be collected. For data to be collected, some technologies to be there, some tools should be there. It can be as low as Excel sheet. That's not an issue. Even WhatsApp group can also enough, but some technology you have to use it.
I think any last questions? I think Arun was asking about just the response on the tool, any success stories that you could share with them.
See, success or failure is depend upon the candidate who manages the tool. Tool is basically to equip you to manage the process. There is some manual process, and that process can be automated with, or they can be simplified with the new technology brought into it. Whether The candidate gets success or failure, it depends upon many factors. Not just by using tool, the candidate gets success at present political condition. You see the money is playing very important role, the political party plays an important role, the face value of the candidate plays important role, many things plays important role. Tool is just a, a leverage which you take or which you just takes you to push to one step forward. That's it. So success or failure depends upon how effectively you use this tool. Even if you use 100% effectively, it doesn't mean that you get success, right? There are other factors also. The political wave itself make you to one success or failure in the situation. So tool is basically to put the process in place. Very simple.
Right. So on that note, I think I don't see any more questions. So thank you so much, sir, for your time. This has been very useful to sort of, put everything all in one, proper flow for us to understand the various aspects that are there in the new age technology for politics and governance specifically. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to having more conversations with you offline through the channels that you've shown us. Look forward to it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Harshita, and thanks to Sachin, and thanks to BPAC management team for organizing wonderful session online with good people, turnaround of 65 plus people. And I'm really happy to be part of this. And in partnership with BPAC and Forum of Digital Politics, let's do wonders in terms of digital political landscape. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining and staying with us till the end. On that note, I think I'll just close this meeting for today. Thank you.